Hello and welcome to the Ravensburger Games YouTube channel. My name is Sam, and today we are going to be talking about 3 games that we have coming from Ravensburger this year. There's going to be new games, and I'm really excited to talk about each of these. We're going to start off with the first one, which is called Colorful Farm. Now, this is a roll and draw. It's a really good introduction to the roll and write genre, where one player is going to be rolling the dice, and there's going to be all these different faces. You know, you might have haystacks, you might have cows, chickens, and these are all going to correlate with things on your board. You're also going to have 5 different colors as well. This game is so simple. Starting with the first player, they're going to basically choose a die, and whatever side they take, for example, I took the cow. You're also going to grab one of the colors available, so I might take the red. And then in clockwise fashion, every player is going to be taking a die and a color. And what you're trying to do is you're trying to fill in these groups here, because whenever you fill in a group on your player board, you're also going to be filling in a fence post, and the first player to fill in 5 fence posts wins the game. So for example, I grabbed the cow, I grabbed the red colored pencil, so I'm going to color in a cow red. So maybe I'll do it over here. Oh, look at that. It's so cute. And so another thing to think about here is that you actually have 2 sides of this barn. On one side here, each of the animals or objects in these groups on this side with the yellow border, those all have to be a different color in each group to complete it. But on the left side here, those in the green border, those all have to be the same color. So let's say on a future turn, I had grabbed a haystack here, and I had grabbed the purple color. Well, if I color in this haystack purple, that means that the next haystack here would have to be purple on a later turn in order for me to complete this group. And if I did that, just for example, then I could fill in this fence post. And like I said, the first player to complete 5 fence posts will win the game. And it's really just that simple. You can play this game with anybody. It runs 1 to 4 players, ages 5 and up, and doesn't last more than 15 minutes. And that is Colorful Farm. Next up, we are going to talk about Cookie Party, and this game works similar to that of Bingo. And the funny thing is that it actually has a lot of the same kind of components from the last game we talked about. We got dice, we've got a marker, and one of the fun things about this is it's really simple. Players are just going to be rolling the dice, and every player is going to use that same roll, and you're going to have all of these chips on your player board, or cookie sheet, I guess you could call it. So in this case, we rolled a 10. So what you're going to do is you're going to find that 10 chip right here, and then you're going to look at how many lines that chip has on it. Now, these chips are going to have varying number of lines. The less commonly rolled numbers are going to have more lines that you can place, and the most common ones are only going to have 1 line. So for example, this 10 right here, this is going to have 2 lines. So you can draw 2 lines adjacent to that chip. So for example, we might go 1, 2, just like so. After you draw those lines, if you enclose the space completely, so let's say, I drew my 4th line right here, you're going to go ahead and cross that out. And if a token had been here, you can move that to anywhere else you want on the board. The other thing is that at the end, after you're done making your lines, you can always just move one of these chips around the board. And the reason why that's so cool is that, you can say, oh, well, the 8s are really common. I'm going to put the 8 right here because I want to finish up this enclosure right here. I want to finish this one really quick. So I love that you can kind of move those chips around to kind of manipulate how often some of these things are going to happen. So what are you actually going for, though? You're trying to collect points, and the points amount is dependent on the number of players, and you kind of got a cool little score track up here. But what you're going for is you're going for 3 of all of these different kinds of cookies. And when you have something that you've scored on this scoreboard here, you're going to be moving any chip from your board up to that scoreboard, and then you're going to score the points depending on when you put it up there. So for example, these blue cookies right here, let's say I had enclosed another one. Oh, there's the there's the third one there. Let's say I had enclosed 3 at the end of my turn. I just enclosed my last one, so I can take any chip and then I can go ahead and fill it in. And since I was the first player that filled in for blue, I'm going to get 6 points. If I had been the second, I would have gotten 4. So I get my 6 points, and now I'm at 6 points. And you're just going to continue to do this. A couple of other scoring things is 6 out of the 10 red squares here. So there's a lot of red squares on your board. And then this one is first to complete a column or a row on your player board. So super, super simple, but I love the little strategy elements of moving these chips. Which chips am I going to move to score on this scoreboard? But also which chips am I going to move around after each of my turns? Because that's also going to matter on how I can actually manipulate my player board. So that is Cookie Party. Roll your dice, make some lines, and complete some of these cookie orders. And the last game that we're going to talk about today is called Fast Fishing, which is a kind of re-implementation of Snail's Pace Race if you've ever played that game or at least seen it being played. This is a super, super simple game, a game that I can literally play with any kid of any age, it feels. And basically what you're going to do is you're going to actually divide into 2 teams at the beginning of the game. Any number can be on any team. You can do all players are on one team, just really any combination of this. You can be a part of the fish team or a part of the fisherman team. And what is going to happen is each player is going to be rolling this dice once a turn. And what's going to happen is each player is going to take a turn to roll the die. And depending on the color that is rolled, that is going to determine what moves on the board. So if it's going to be the orange, pink, blue, or yellow side, that's going to push a fish forward. So in this case, I got orange. I'm going to go ahead and push the orange fish one way forward. Now, if I roll a green or a red, that's going to move the fisherman's boat one space forward. Now, something of note, if the fisherman ever reaches the same wave as a fish, that fish is caught and it's actually placed into the boat like so. The other thing is if fish actually makes it all the way over to the end of the board, they've made it and escaped to the ocean, they are safe. The way that the fish team wins is they have to get at least 3 fish to the ocean. The way that the fishermen win is they have to catch at least 3 fish. But both teams will win if 2 make it to the ocean and 2 are caught at the end of the game. So one of the things is I love the fact that you can move any fish when one is either already been caught or when one is already in the ocean. So let's say I roll a pink right now, which I did. The pink has already made it off into the ocean, therefore I can move either one of these fish forward. And I love that. I love that it gives you kind of some interesting options on, which fish to move at which time. It helps kids to kind of think about a little bit of the strategy if one's closer to being caught or not. And that is really it for Fast Fishing. So simple. This game is 1 to 6 players, but really you can play with any number of players. It does not matter. And this is going to be ages 3 and up. But hey, that is it for today's video. That is going to be 3 adorable family games coming from Ravensburger in 2025. Definitely comment down below which of the 3 games interests you the most or that you are most excited to try out. And if you comment down below, you will actually be enrolled in a giveaway for a bundle of Ravensburger games. So go ahead and check the description down below for the full details on that giveaway. And if you like content like this and you want to see more, please consider subscribing and pressing the bell notification to be notified when the next video is released. Thank you all so much for watching. I will see you next time. Bye bye.